Hi, and welcome to POM 388. This is what we call the dimming class, or what I'm moving towards is calling it the white room class. We discuss Deming's 15 points, Deming's 7 diseases, 14 obstacles, many of his quotes, and we look at the 66 questions. It's a diagnostic analysis of a company to see if they're following his suggestions. And then we also look at the Toyota version of what Deming taught the Japanese. If you don't know, Deming was in Japan in 1950, and according to the articles that you have, he had 75% of the major business CEOs in the room talking to them. So he is given credit, along with Duran, for the rise of Japan. So here we have, as usual, come to work, come to play, 10%, show up for work. Papers, we have the cost of the burgers, processes of making a hamburger. You think that's easy, but it's not. That paper is worth 10%. We have the Deming Toyota paper for 30%. 66 questions for 30%, and the final exam for 20. Now let's go back to the 66 questions, because it's not really 66 questions. It's more like probably 250 questions, because many of the questions have part A, B, C, D, E, and sometimes even F or more. So this really is a 2-week process where you'll go talk to a business owner. Please get approval for that, because there's some companies that have done this diagnostic several times and they're getting tired of it. And you'll meet with them and probably maybe cover 30 questions the first time and 36 or so the next time. So that is a huge project, but it's also very enlightening. And you can help the company with your results. We don't just do the 66 questions and just answer them and end there. We take the 66 questions, we look at the answers. If you have to explain, most times, you have to explain the question to the owner. There's no way that they would know what the question means without taking this class. And then you do an analysis and make suggestions on how they can improve their business and kind of paint a picture of what the results would be if they did apply your suggestions. I want to make a note too on the Deming and the Toyota paper. The Deming paper here is not just about the 14/15 points. It's to try to combine or create a discussion that includes all of these things. And we will, hopefully, we'll get around to doing Deming, what I call Deming chains, where we can take point 1 and 2, for example, 1 and 2, and then connect it to 7, and then go back to 5, and down to 13, 14, ending up with 15, and going through the diseases as well, and filling in the quotes to build a Deming chain. His concepts are all interrelated. They're repeating too. Some of them are repeating. But he claims, Dr. Deming claims, that during his lifetime, not one company, even Toyota, was able to implement the 14 principles or points for management. So the Deming stuff, if you glance over it at first, it seems, I read it off to an older guy, and he said, that's just common sense. And I said, well, common sense ain't so common, is it? Even the companies that he consulted with couldn't implement all of them. So what got my attention with Deming was when he called me stupid. When he called me stupid, that got my attention. his quote was, why are we all so damn stupid? You'll probably read this, you might read it in our notes or articles, but that Red Beads video series that you saw was part of a 4-day seminar. Not 3-day, not 5 days, 4 days. 4 days is a long time to be in a seminar. But towards the end of one of those seminars, somebody raised their hand and said, Dr. Deming, we've had a great time. This is how the story goes. We've had a great time, and we want to make t-shirts for everybody to, so we'll remember, we're part of a club now. And the person said, Dr. Deming, what should we put on our t-shirt? And he came back with, why are we all so damned stupid? It's a little offensive. Actually, Deming was a very religious person, and he cared for humanity. And this really points out the passion that he had for why do we keep creating our own problems? Why can't we see the world in a different way? Why are we so damn stupid? We keep making the same assumptions. We keep making the same mistakes. We keep benchmarking people who haven't thought through things. Fear is no way to manage people. We can't blame the performance on the individual if 96% of the factors going into a whatever belong and are created by management. So this is what we call getting into the white room. Now I'd like to say that this is a video, class, but in class, sometimes I have a very difficult time getting into the white room. And I'm not hiding it. In fact, I state, let's get into the white room. Let's get into the church of purity. Because it's like we're hardwired to make mistakes. And getting into the white room is like getting in there and being in a pure state. Almost like turning a Baptist or something into a Buddhist. You have to switch philosophies and get over there and say, no, this is the right way to do things, and stay in there. But I can't stay in there. Most people can't either. And the end of this, you should be at a state where you have the opportunity to go into the white room, but it would take years of practice to stay in the white room. I can tell you that I'm a much better person, parent, after studying all of this, because it applies not only to work, but to your home life, the assumptions you make around town, the way you treat your kids, the way you see situations, and you learn how, and I'm sure I've used this term before, you learn how to stand there and not do anything. Don't just do something. Stand there, think, go into the white room, assess the situation, and then deal with it. Chances are you won't have to do anything because it wasn't that big a deal to begin with. It may have just been a random occurrence. So there we go. So this 66 is huge. I do want to say I'm really proud. This is the first time ever that we've had the same students, most have work experience. You just took organizational behavior. You just took human resource management. Now you're ready for the black belt. You'll take all of those little concepts, and hopefully if you kept your study guides, you'll see Deming's influence on the more modern day people, and maybe how the older gurus influenced him, such as Theory X and Theory Y. So there we go. You get what you deserve. Management is creating their own problems, and why are we all so damn stupid? Please don't be offended, but make that a wake-up call. That's what got me interested in all of this. So we're going to try to learn how to be smart, or a little bit smarter.